When we bought Law Enforcement Today and Blue Lives Matter and Police Tribune and all these other platforms, we gave you our word on two things. One, that we weren't going to accept money that allowed us to lose our souls, right? And to lose the mission of telling the stories behind the uniforms. And two, we were going to continue to bring you the truth, no matter how painful it was, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's going on in America, and specifically as it pertains to law enforcement. So I've got a very close friend of mine, my brother, Matt, who's the president of the Federal Law Enforcement Officer Association, and we came out here to the border in Texas with our guys at TMPA, Connor and Frankie, our cinematographers, and we're here today just to have a very real conversation about what's going on in our country. Matt, say what's up.
Definitely. Kyle, I'd like to thank you first, foremost, for bringing me out here. This is amazing what you guys are doing with Law Enforcement Today, showing those true, real stories of law enforcement officers, what we're doing every single day out on the streets, putting our lives on the line to make sure that we are safe. So thank you.
Thank you, man. We have, our board of directors, our board of advisors that we put together is the heads of the largest police groups in the country. We'll break each other's balls all day long about, feds versus local PD versus state. It doesn't matter. These guys are all putting on a uniform, kissing their wives and husbands and kids goodbye, and going off praying that they return to them, but not knowing, especially in these turbulent times in America, if they are going to come home to them. Matt, what have you seen out here this week?
Coming out here, I see the first thing that I saw was the unity between the state, local, and federal agencies out here. Despite what we're hearing about Border Patrol not being able to come to Shelby Park, we saw them dropping boats over at Shelby Park. The simple fact that we have Florida Highway Patrol, Florida Game Wardens, Florida Fish and Wildlife down here working with TexasDPS and working with our other state and local agencies, that's huge to me. It shows the brotherhood. It shows the fraternalness of law enforcement right there.
And frankly, it shows the lies of the mainstream media and certain politicians who would have you believe that there is this massive divide in law enforcement. These men and women want one thing and one thing only, and that's to keep our country safe. And so when you see all of the BS that's in the news saying that Border Patrol hates TexasDPS and vice versa, we saw these guys working hand in hand alongside each other just to keep our country safe. Matt, how does it feel to actually be on the ground? I mean, we're on the Rio Grande River right now in Eagle Pass, to see the extent of the crisis, but to see it in an area that was completely flooded under a tsunami just months ago, and to see that law enforcement actually works.
Like you said, go back a couple months ago, you saw what was happening. Fast forward a couple months, you see what's happening now. Things have gotten a lot better on this part of the border, but they're not better all over the place. We just saw a couple minutes ago somebody trying to get across, though. Were they coming across over to the U.S. side? We don't know. They stopped in the middle and they went back onto the Mexican side. The problem is, what did they have with them? They had a big backpack or duffel bag on their back. We have no idea what was in there. Drugs, guns, money, who knows what it was. What were they trying to get over here? Did they drop it somewhere and dump it somewhere and someone else is gonna bring it across? That's what's scary to me.
So you've got a fentanyl crisis, you have a drug crisis, you have violence, you have the human trafficking and the human smuggling side of things. You have, the FBI director recently said again that there are more blinking red lights right now than before 9/11, and that there are severe terror concerns. And we have a crisis not just in terms of the number of gotaways, but we don't know anything about criminal records of people who are coming across, who are coming from countries like China, El Salvador, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Pakistan.
There is legal ways to get into this country, and there's plenty of them. You can walk across, you can drive across at numerous points. Why are you trying to sneak through and not go the legal route? Why? I'll tell you right now. Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection and all the other federal agencies do a great job of deporting the ones that we don't want here. Why? Because they're child rapists, they're murderers, they're stealing, they're robbing, whatever they're doing, and we're deporting them, and we're seeing them back in this country, not once, not twice, 3 and 4 and 5 times. And that's what's scary to me. How many times do they have to come back over until we say we need to do something about this?
Matt, shameless plug time for FLEOA.
You can go to our website, FLEOA.org, or type in the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association. You can follow us on other branches of social media.
Love you, brother. Thanks for coming out.
Much.
Guys, God bless you all. God bless America.